Why aren't people taking, I can't believe I'm the one asking this question of all people. Why aren't people taking the Lakers a little more seriously here? Is it because of the injury history of AD? Is it the fact that LeBron is going to be in year 21? What is it?
I think people see the record of last year, and I don't think many people watched. There were so many different iterations of the Lakers last year, and I don't feel like the general public has a good view of which one that they take seriously enough, right? Because it was like a 10-year season with the Lakers last year. It was Russell. I remember I saw them in person like maybe 6 or 7 times, and each time it was a different rotation player out of the lineup, either by trade or by injury or something like that, right? I saw him in Boston when one of Russell Westbrook's last games, and then I saw him in the postseason where they were probably at their final form. And the team that was at their final form was a really good basketball team, right? There was not just LeBron and AD, but you had supplementary pieces. We talk about Reeves. We talk about a guy like Vanderbilt, who was a really great contributor. You talk about a guy like Rui. They finally had a rotation that was not just putting pressure on AD and LeBron to score a bunch of points. They could really supplement scoring and also supplement defensive responsibilities. It was a deeper team. And I think that's the team that we should be looking towards for next season, because I remember seeing them play against the Warriors up at Chase Center in the second round of the playoffs and thinking, wow, if this team had more of a time to gel and mesh together, this is a 55-win team. And I think that they're going to be one of the best teams next year. One thing, they match up with every good team in the Western Conference. I do still think that they have trouble with Denver, and they have trouble with Jokic in particular, because I thought about last year with Anthony Davis, and he played really well against Joker, but he still got not even marginally outplayed, got really outplayed by Joker, and will go down in one of the best single person runs of all time, I think, when it's said and done with Jokic. But I think the Lakers are right in the thick of it. I think with the moves that Phoenix made, I think Golden State regressed, as we're probably going to talk about. But I think that with all that going on and the way it shakes out at this very moment, especially if they get Bruce Brown, and even if they don't get Bruce Brown, the Lakers are right into the thick of the Western Conference next year.
Yeah, they started out 2-10 and they finished 43-39. So they're 41-29 basically last 70 games, which, you know, it's high 40s pace in real life. But I think when you think about Reeves, what happened to him the last 2 months of the season, then the playoffs. When you think about Vanderbilt being there for an extra year, LeBron maybe being healthier than he was down the stretch. I still don't know what happened with the foot. Like he had plantar fasciitis, but he was able to play 48 minutes in game 4. Like, I still don't understand the full story of that.
And did he get surgery this summer? Is he getting surgery? We don't know, right? Like, we don't. That's something that he kind of he floated out there, like, if I might have to get surgery, but then I won't tell you guys. So that's another question that's like in the mystery of LeBron James's health.
Yeah, how healthy is he? You know, we've been down this road with LeBron before, where there were injuries coming out of playoff losses that we never kind of knew how injured he was. He was definitely injured, but I didn't understand the 48 minutes part. There's a little bit of a last dance feel to this season with LeBron in a lot of different ways, right? His son's going to be at USC. We know he's going to be in LA this year. But then what happened? I personally don't think there's a chance that Bronny's going to go into the draft after his freshman year. I think he's going to have to stay in college for a couple of years, but who knows? But for LeBron, this is the last year of his deal. After this, I don't know. Maybe he'll want to ring chase. Maybe he'll want to just play 20 minutes a game on a better team. This is the last year that we know that he'll have this really good team built around him that is pretty close to a title. On top of this, the second apron and the fact we're seeing stuff already. Eric Gordon, Taurean Prince just got waived because teams were afraid of the tax. You're going to see some fringe dudes around there that you're going to be able to grab that aren't fringe dudes. Like, somebody might be able to get Eric Gordon for like $3 million a year. So I'm looking at all this. I'm just thinking like, man, this Lakers team, this is a little last dancey. What do you think of that theory?
I do feel that last theory, but I do have another theory for you with the Bronny thing before I get into what the Lakers are going to do. Like, there is a world where Bronny plays 1 year and then just gets like a 2-way slot with the Lakers next year. right? And then LeBron gets everything that he wants, right? He gets, depends on how good or bad Bronny is, right? Like there is a world there where that happens. But I do see the last dance feel with the Lakers, but it's only because, I mean, we all know LeBron's probably not going to retire. That ship has sailed, right? But the fact that he's bringing it up shows that he sees the end of the road, whether it's next year or the year after that, right? And because of that, I think that you're going to see a bigger push for this season and try to win. We got one more crack at it. I think that there's a chance where, especially with the way the bench is rounded out and how much support that LeBron and AD have, I think there's a chance that they can win a title. And then this is one of those ones where it happens. It's like, whew. Now we can go on to everybody can kind of go on with their lives and it'll stamp the LeBron era in Los Angeles, because if they win a title this year, he'll finally have that Lakers experience of winning a title in Los Angeles that he just really craved to have during the bubble season.
Right, with an actual crowd.
Exactly, with an actual crowd. And you saw Staples last year. You were at the game during the postseason. Staples was Crypto, but I'm going to call it Staples. Staples was buzzing during the postseason last year. It was their first postseason outside of the bubble. And I think that the opportunity to stamp himself into Laker lore for LeBron is right there to win a title in Los Angeles and have the storybook ending that he's always kind of wanted.
The problem is to me, it goes one of two ways and there's no middle ground. It's either what you just laid out or it actually goes really badly and there's injuries and it's all the bad side of stuff. Like LeBron could only make it halfway through the season before he got hurt. His durability really since 2018, that last Cleveland season, he's missed chunks of time every season. He's had all these injuries. He's on pace to play more minutes than anyone ever. And then Davis isn't exactly Cal Ripken Jr. So you have those two things. That's why there's this fork in the road right now for them. I would lean toward the contender fork because I think if they can get enough stuff around him, maybe you can figure out how to not rely on him as much. The fact that Reeves grew as much as he did as a scorer creator, I think is really important for them next year. Whether they bring Russell back or not, Russell and I talked about it on Sunday. I thought he was out. And a bunch of people were hitting me and saying like, no, they'll be the ones that pay him the most. And then he's either trade bait or they'll actually use him. He was so bad in round 3. I was like, they won't bring him back, but maybe you just bring him back as a trade asset.